Island of Courage. In the middle of a vast ocean, where the water was as blue as the sky, lay the mysterious Island of Courage. On this island lived a little pirate named Teo. He wore a hat with a large feather and carried a wooden sword by his side. Although Teo was a pirate who feared neither storms nor great waves, he had one hidden worry. Teo greatly disliked being the center of attention. When the other pirates in his crew planned a grand performance, Teo felt his heart race with fear. One day, the crew's captain, an old and wise pirate named Captain Gus, announced that there would be a great show to celebrate the discovery of treasure. Everyone was to present something. Teo, albeit reluctantly, agreed to take a small role in the performance, thinking he might manage to avoid attention. When his turn came, Teo only had to wave his sword and say one sentence. He managed to do it, and the crew applauded him. Teo felt proud for a moment and thought that maybe it wasn't so terrible. However, the next day, Captain Gus announced that Teo would have a bigger role in the next performance. He was to sing a song about pirates. Teo felt his heart race with fear again. "I can't do it, Captain," Teo said. "I don't like singing, and I don't want to be the center of attention." Captain Gus looked at Teo with a smile. "Teo, I know it's difficult, but true courage is not only fighting monsters, but also overcoming your own fears." The day of the big performance arrived. Teo felt his legs tremble with fear. "I can't do it," he thought, looking at the crowd of pirates awaiting his performance. When his turn came, Teo tried to gather courage, but his voice broke and his hands shook. In the end, he fled backstage, feeling disappointed and sad. "I'm not brave," he thought, sitting alone on the beach. On the beach, a small rabbit named Bobby approached Teo. "Hi, Teo," Bobby said. "I saw you run away from the performance. Why?" Teo sighed. "I'm afraid of singing in front of others. I don't like being the center of attention." Bobby sat next to Teo and said, "You know, Teo, I used to be afraid of leaving my burrow too, but I learned that sometimes I have to overcome my fear to discover something new. Maybe you could try too." Teo looked at Bobby and felt that maybe he was right. He returned to the island and asked Captain Gus for another chance. The captain agreed with a smile. This time, when Teo stood before the crew, he closed his eyes and imagined he was singing only for Bobby. He began to sing, and his voice grew more confident. When he opened his eyes, he saw the crew applauding him, and Captain Gus smiling with pride. Teo realized that true courage is not only fighting monsters, but also overcoming your own fears. From that day on, Teo was no longer afraid to perform in front of others. He knew he could always count on the support of his friends, and that true bravery comes from the heart. Does Teo remind you of someone? Maybe you have something you're afraid of too. What do you think helped Teo overcome his fear? Do you think you could try to do the same as Teo? Remember, courage is not only fighting monsters, but also overcoming your own fears.